So it's basically a metafictional tale. I've never written a metafictional tale before, but it's the narrator speaking to the reader. So the narrator is saying to the reader, don't invite a bear inside for Hanukkah. And then I'll show you, it's really cute. Carl's did a really nice job. So there's this bear. There's a bear walking along. There's a bear walking along on the street, apparently. And the child sees the bear. And the narrator says, don't invite a bear inside for Hanukkah. See, there's the bear. But children don't listen. Ding dong. And then it says, oh, now you've done it. So at first the bear's really helpful, and he gets the menorah, he helps decorate in a bear kind of way. And it gets messy when he sets the table and stuff like that. And I'll show you about that because it's cute. He's really being helpful as he can be as a bear. So he's helping get the menorah. He's helping pour the water and the wine or grape juice. He's getting the candles into the menorah. But he has paws. It's hard. He's playing the harmonica. You can't see it. There it is. He's playing some dreidel songs. He's listening to the story of Hanukkah. He's actually reading the bear book, if you can actually see it. There it is. They're actually reading the bear book. And then once he starts smelling the food, then there's very big trouble. And that's when it all starts to trouble it. And then he eats everything because he can't help himself. He had the latkes and the applesauce. He ate everything and tore apart the gifts and the chocolate coins. And once you eat chocolate coins, I'm sorry, you have to have more. And then he just wants more. And then actually the child sees the mother's face, which is, you invited this guest in the house and look what happened. So now the child has to tell the bear to leave. And that's hard to do. Especially when you see a tear. Let me see if I can show you. Can you see the tear? Once the child sees the tear, then the child realizes it wasn't the bear's fault that he was messy. It was just how bears are. So the child goes and follows the bear through the forest and doesn't know what to do about that. He's just following. And then the child sees that the bear has a tree branch menorah in his window. And he says, I didn't know that bears celebrate Hanukkah. And then the bear doesn't talk. So he nods. And then he gives it to the child as a gift. And then the child's, I have to figure out a way. The child has to figure out a way to celebrate Hanukkah with the bear, who's lonely and celebrating alone. And it's always nice to invite friends to celebrate, even bears. So he figures out, wait, the bear wasn't a very good guest inside, but maybe he'll be a really good guest outside. So actually, he tells the bear he has a very big idea. Look how happy the bear is now. So happy. They don't speak the same language, but it doesn't matter. So now my favorite picture is them walking through the forest. So happy that they figured out a plan. I don't know if you can see it. This is my favorite spread. It's just magical. There's just like little animals like everywhere in the forest. They're having their own little play. So the bear, they finally go home. The child tells the parents that they want to have Hanukkah outside. That's their new plan. The father's like frying up latkes on the fire pit. And the mother brings out jelly donuts. And I'm not going to tell you the ending. In 2020, I think I said that I sent Dina Newsner at Apples and Honey Press. I thought at the time she was taking board books. And I sent her this board book series called Bear and Cat, or a Hanukkah with Bear and Cat, whatever it was called. And she loved the characters, but she said she isn't taking board books anymore. And could I make this into a picture book? So I would need a huge storyline, a huge rewrite, more personality for the bear. I can't rush creativity. And I basically didn't come up with this metafictional tale with the bear until 2022, 2 years after. But all of a sudden, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I got this idea for don't invite a bear inside for Hanukkah. That's all I had at 3 o'clock in the morning. In the morning, I just couldn't stop writing it. It just came out. It was just so fast. I couldn't write fast enough. And actually, I don't go on the computer. I write on paper first because it's a different part of the brain that uses when you're writing on paper as opposed to typing on the computer. A different part of the brain is used then. I always write things out first. And then I'm able to make changes the next day in red. I write always in blue first and then red the next day to make my changes because I always wanted to be a teacher when I grew up. And so then I can see the different day changes and stuff like that. And then if there's a third day of changes, it's a totally different color, like purple, green, or pink, or whatever I have in my drawer. Then when I think it's ready, then I type it into the computer. So I didn't send it to Dean until 2 years later, and it was completely different. I dropped the cat. And it was a metafictional tale, which I said before, when the narrator speaks to the reader. And the reason why the child in the story actually is, let me just show you. It's neither a girl or a boy. It's just a child because the narrator is speaking to the child and it has to be for every child. And we didn't want to pick a certain child. It was a book for everybody, that everybody can see themselves in it. Everybody could do this kind of thing. So everybody can invite people that have differing abilities or food allergies into their house and make them feel comfortable and included. Sometimes your brain will fix it for you at 3 o'clock in the morning for whatever reason. I can't do it during the day. It has to be at 3 o'clock in the morning. So most of the time, most of my writing, my big writing, the major writing is done at 3 o'clock in the morning. Other times, then it's hard to decipher the notes, the 3 o'clock in the morning notes, except I'm getting a little bit better. I seem to write a little straighter now on the 3 o'clock in the morning, writing slicky notes, and I have them like all over my house. I even have them here. Because you never know when you're going to come up with an idea. And I wrote a whole entire book on my way to Sandoz Pharmaceuticals. Actually, I wrote 2 books on the way to Sandoz Pharmaceuticals on sticky notes that I flung inside my car. I would write things down and fling them. And I would write things down and I'd fling them. And then when I got home from work, I would pick them all up and it wrote a whole entire book. I get really bored. So I write books in the car. Don't tell my mom. So if I'm writing books in the car, I have sticky notes in my car. I'm always writing books in the car. I'm writing books in the shower, on the beach, in the airplane, whenever I'm not thinking about writing books. That's what. So I'll write it on the way home from a friend's house because I wrote a whole book when actually it was my cousin-in-law who told me her cat was moving to a new, they were moving and the cat, she was afraid of what the cat was going to do. So all I wrote on the side of the road was cat moving to a new house. And then at night, I came up with the whole entire book. So I don't write during the day. I'm doing emails. I'm answering emails to schools. I'm booking school visits. I'm booking book signings and coming on podcasts and stuff like that. Most of my writing is done at 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, the Family and Frog Haggadah kept me up for nights because I had to wait till Rabbi Ron wrote the Haggadah. And then I had to read his little paragraphs about washing your hands or whatever. And Frog, the character, had to come up with what would be good from reading that paragraph that he'd want to say that would be funny during the Passover Seder. That was also 3 o'clock in the morning. And I gave Dina at least 3 funny things per Haggadah page that she could use. For instance, you're drinking the first glass of wine and Frog would say, I didn't get any wine. Someone fill up my cup. Or can we stop right here and eat now? Or Seder means order. He could say in the order, when they were doing the order, I had him say something like, can we change the order and eat first? Like that kind of thing. Just really silly things. But I did that all at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I literally gave her 3 to 5 things that she could pick from that she would want. And she'd let me do whatever I wanted to do for Frog. He jumped through pages. It was actually written up in the New York Times, this Haggadah. She was able to let me do anything. Frog ran away from Pharaoh's army. He spilled wine all over the pages, or grape juice, I think it was. He made a matzah mess. But it's always at 3 o'clock in the morning. But that book, or Haggadah, kept me up. I was up from 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, writing down ideas and throwing them on my bed. And it was a crazy time because we also had a quick time deadline. So that was actually, I think, the hardest book I ever wrote on a timeline. The 10 Plagues. Frog sees a locust go across the page and he thinks it's a fly. So he's, wait, I see a fly. And he goes to get it, but he goes, blech, that was a locust. So, whatever. I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, and it was very freeing. I have food allergies. I've been starting to eat gluten again, but I really shouldn't. It makes me creaky and arthritic. I do not, under any circumstances, eat any dairy. When I go to people's houses or when I go to parties and stuff like that, and this is about inclusion, it's always nice when people say to me, you can eat this, Karen, but you can't eat this. Or you can have this, but you can't have that. And I always feel when I'm coming to someone's house, especially like if you're a bear and you're making a mess or whatever, it's just nice when they have Hanukkah outside so that he can come and visit and not have to worry about making a mess, which is what got him kicked out in the first place. But he didn't even realize that. So I was just trying to include, in a children's point of view, everybody that could possibly come from the forest. Rabbits, bears, whoever, squirrels, I don't know. But they should all be allowed to come. It's a mitzvah, actually, to invite people in for holidays. But it could be a mitzvah to invite people outside for holidays as well. Sukkot is outside, but bear would still be in a confined 3. It has to be 3 sides at least for a sukkah to be a sukkah. So he'd still have a little bit of an issue, but it is outside. I think he'd be better off in a sukkah. But I was just trying to make it so that everybody could come. Everybody. Animals, people, all kinds of people. The problem in the child's brain at the time is he doesn't want to make his parents angry, but they are really angry already. I'm going to show you the picture. They're not happy. And children, for the most part, really want to get their parents' respect, and they want their parents to be happy. So when the parents don't look happy at all, and they know it's because of the bear, and because of what you did was invite the bear, you feel like you have to do something. And so here's where the parents aren't looking really happy. And then they're looking at you like, you better take care of this because like you invited the bear inside for Hanukkah. So this is all on you. But at the same time, when the child does get enough, and don't forget, it takes a lot to tell somebody to leave your house because they're not acting the way that you think that they should. So first of all, there's that going on. Then he sees the tear. And I don't know about you, but whenever I see animals, I have a soft spot for animals and how cute they are and stuff like that, especially baby animals. This is a big bear, but he still has tears. And now the child has another issue. So he has the parents being angry at him issue. He has this trying to stand back up to the bear issue. And now he sees the tear. So now he needs to figure out what to do to make the bear happy. So he has to make the parents happy. Now he has to make the bear happy. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of pressure going on. How to make everybody happy. How to include everybody. And that's the problem that he's dealing with right now. Or the child's dealing with right now because the bear's leaving. The parents want the bear to leave. And the child, again, now has nobody to have in the house for Hanukkah. So there's no more guests. There's just a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of pressure. when you're inviting somebody from preschool to your house, or when you're inviting somebody from kindergarten or first grade or second grade, if they have food allergies, if they don't like loud noises, when you're inviting somebody to your house, you have to find a way to make them coming to your house comfortable, or coming outside of your house comfortable, whatever, if you're a bear. Everybody knows people that have issues. Someone has food allergies. We have a friend who has cerebral palsy. So we always have to try to make him feel comfortable. There's chairs to think about, and he has to walk around a lot, and it's better to have him at the house instead of inviting him out to dinner so he can get up and down and up and down. And we're always trying to include, we have a lot of people with differing abilities, and you always want to include people. You don't want to make them feel bad. You don't want to make them feel like they are, I don't know, impeding on other guests because they have certain restrictions. So I'm always trying to think about that, and especially for me with my food allergies and stuff like that. So I'm very aware, and I'm very self-aware. And when people used to invite me over to eat, there's a lot of things to consider. People wanted me to bring frog to the Passover Seders. Now I'm talking about people from, I can't even tell, far away. They all wanted to pay me to come to their Seder with frog. Now that's great, except I have so many food restrictions that it would just be really hard for other people to have me and frog come to a Seder. He only eats flies. Between the two of us, we have a lot of food restrictions, and it would be great to go to somebody's Passover Seder, but I would feel bad about them having to change things up because of me. But it was funny that people were asking me. I'm like, so wait, you want me to fly to you to have frog at your Seder? So that's why I put up a paper bag frog puppet that you can make at home, so you can have a frog at your Seder. And that's why I actually do some Passover shows and I bring frog. But we also have the Passover make your own frog puppet activity, so that you can bring your own frog to the Seder, so that you can talk when frog talks. Let me see if she's awake.
I'm in kindergarten. And I have cool high tops. Yeah, Karen got me from the internet. It's a country. 22 years.
How did you get here, Maria?
I came in a box. Yeah, the box didn't have any holes. I don't know. That's silly.
How did you breathe?
I sucked it in.
What, the air in the box?
Yeah, I took it all. Didn't give me any food. I didn't have any food.
You didn't eat?
No.
They didn't give you plastic food for your long journey?
No. I like jelly donuts.
But tell her why. Tell her why.
'Cause they're pink.
Well, not all jelly donuts are pink.
I only like pink.
Pink jelly donuts.
Pink jelly donuts. And, oh!
You can tell her.
I like pink applesauce. Yeah, on my luck, I don't like sour cream. No dairy. 'Cause I'm Karen's person.
So I can't have dairy, you can't. So if I can't have dairy, you can't have dairy?
That's right. Friends. Yeah. Karen does everything that she can to make me happy.
I don't know.
How do I make you happy?
How do you make me happy? You're funny.
Yeah. I don't mean to be funny, but I guess I am. Yeah. I say what 5-year-olds think. I just do it. I'm not shy about it. She has a website, and she's on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Is that it?
She's trying Threads, but she doesn't understand it.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot, Maria. I really don't understand Threads. a little bit harder to understand threads, I think. I don't know. I'm trying, but I'm not there yet.
Are you on Goodreads?
I'm trying to be on Goodreads.
Hey, I know! You should read her book and do a review.
There you go.
It helps authors. I know it helps authors a lot.
And
Ask for it at your local library.
and
If they don't have it, they can order it.
what else did I teach you to say?
Let me think. Oh, you can pre-order there. Yay, thank you.
Bye.